Good noon everyone, welcome back to your beloved Crazyhouse chess speedrun, the series that I really emphasize the crazy part of Crazy Mansion. And without any further ado, let's get into today's content. First opponent is a beginner, but we shouldn't underestimate beginners. This variant is all about testosterone levels. e4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, very aggressive, knight f3, bishop takes c3, d takes c3. Alright, now the fun begins. The captured pieces did not actually die, but they can be put down at anywhere, at any time the players want. Therefore if he just keeps the extra knight on his hand in reserve, I'm gonna have some difficult time developing my pieces while still making sure that there is no weakness in my territory for him to take advantage of. Never mind. e5, knight c6. I'll just develop as normal. f6, he takes f6. Normally this isn't really good because it helps the knight develop, but this variant is a little bit special. Knight takes f6. That blunders a horsey. The f-pawn that I've just captured lands on e5. He sacrificed the other knight to save this one. Knight takes e5. Knight e4. I'll be honest, this is actually quite scary. Two connected knights right in front of my uncastled king. Therefore, I will do exactly the same. Knight takes g5. Knight takes d8. Bishop magically appears on g4. I don't see any checkmates yet, so take. h6. Aha! There is a weak square on g6, let's make use of that immediately. Bishop on g6 check. And regardless of this massive amount of material advantage, I still cannot see any possible checkmates. He blocks with this knight. I'll take with bishop. Taking with the knight would have saved my knight, but at this point I think I'll prefer the tempo. King takes d8. Bishop takes g7. Knight lands on g6 defending the rook. But nothing defends the knight. Rook e8. Oh my god, I still cannot see any mates. What kind of game is this? Knight f7 check. King e7. Resignation. Well, that makes things a lot simpler. Second game, let's go. Aha! After all those wins, we have finally get a high 1800 rated opponent, with over 5,500 games of Crazyhouse chess experience. Holy hell, even Trump's tariff on Southeast Asia solar panels isn't this high. c4. e5. e3. Knight f6. It's only 2 moves into the game, yet I am already scared of this rare opening choice. What kind of trap is this guy going to put me through? a3. I see an attempt at a bishop trap, but of course I won't fall for it. d6. On second thought, bishop c5 baiting pawn b4 and then retreat might have been better, but I guess it's trivial anyway. d4. My position is more closed than his. Therefore, I'll close the center. d5. Bishop e7. Knight c3. Castle. Alright, with my king castled and his king doesn't really seem like he's gonna castle anytime soon, let us keep an eye out for some crazy tactic to kick up the game's pace. Queen c2. Bishop f5. That may be a fake development move. I don't think a guy with over 5,000 games of experience would want to castle queenside here. Putting the king on the c-file that can too easily be opened and having to deal with my rook is just obviously way too much. Knight e2. Aha! You know what? I have an idea. Knight g4. I'll sacrifice my knight on f2. King takes f2, removing his castling rights. And I'll put the captured pawn on d3, forking 2 pieces to win back the sacrificed piece. didn't work. Bishop g6. I think there was something like bishop h4 knight f5 bishop takes f2 check. But after king d1, I wasn't feeling very comfortable having his knight on f5, which allows him to drop the bishop on e7 for a fork on my major pieces. So even though I think that position would still be winning for me, I decided to avoid the risky approach. And I'm not a coward. h3. I refuse to move this knight back to the original square. There has to be something here that I can do. I'll sacrifice a pawn for tempos. I'm sorry Edward, but it's been pretty commonly known on this channel that whenever I'm stuck, I'll sacrifice Edward to make changes to the position. Knight takes c4. Bishop takes c4. He took with the queen. Knight drops down on c5 attacking the queen. Queen back to c2. Aha! It is very obvious that he should be wanting to put a pawn on d4 to fork my knights. And since I don't think of knights very highly in this variant, I'll make another sacrifice. There must be something here. How can there not be? Pawn appears on d4 forking my knights. That pawn is actually Edward, by the way. A very shameful traitor. Bishop takes f2 check. After king takes pawn d3 queen d1 knight d7 take and the d3 pawn will always be defended by two knights. I will also have a pawn on my hand to put down at any time and we'll have two connected passed pawns. My opponent saw everything, so he took with the queen instead. Which blunders a queen, knight d3 check. Bishop takes d3. Knight takes d3. Royal fork. King e2. Knight takes f2. King takes f2. Queen f6 check. This is really good, but since my opponent still has 4 pieces in reserve, I don't think a checkmate can happen anytime soon. Converting advantages is also a problem here, as a counter-attack can completely turn the tide with just one small mistake. Never mind. That blunders the king to a checkmate in 2. I tried to find a checkmate with pawn but didn't find anything. Bishop drops down on f2 check. King f1. Queen lands on e1. Checkmating opponent's king with his own wife. Crazyhouse chess speed run today. 400% win rate.